get myself an eye patch.
All right.
It'd be tougher, more intimidating. And I'd switch it back and forth on different days to confuse people.
Amy.
Stu, how are you?
Only blacked out once coming up the stairs. It was a joke.
Hey, Bruce. Hello, Stuart.
You got a minute?
I'll meet you in your chambers.
It's good to see you, Bruce.
Was it?
Did he always look at me like that?
Like what?
Like I was trailing my own personal oil slick.
Well, I don't know. He's a pretty good judge of character.
Ouch. Are we back there?
I'm happy you're out of the hospital and on the mend. What more do you want from me?
When you came to see me in the hospital, did we talk?
A little.
Did I say anything nuts? Because it's mostly a murky haze. I think it was the morphine.
Yeah, you were a little nuts, but...
Would you have dinner with me tonight?
Why?
Came to visit me in the hospital? You brought me books?
Well, that doesn't mean I like you, Stuart.
Oh, so that was because you feel guilty about giving me a near-fatal heart attack?
I didn't give you a near-fatal heart attack.
You told me to blow it out my butt, which caused my heart to stop.
Oh, blow it out your butt, Stuart. See? It wasn't my fault.
When I had no one else in the hospital, you were the only one there for me. Now I'd like to celebrate being alive by buying you dinner. If you don't enjoy yourself, I promise I'll never hit on you again.
Promise?
Cross my heart, hope to die. Yeah, and with me, you know that's more than just idle talk. Come on.
Well, tonight is pretty short notice.
Carpe diem, baby.
Okay. But never call me baby.
Okay. I'll make a reservation and I'll call you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the rest of the world is out there scrabbling for a living, and here I am, canoodling with my baby. In the middle of the afternoon. I mean, how many other people...
You know how I appreciate it when you're appreciative?
Yeah.
Do you have to be so noisy about it?
I'm just trying to buy myself a little bit of time. I'm several years past my sexual prime.
Really?
What is that?
You know perfectly well what that is.
No, that. What is that?
It's nothing. What time is it?
Carol, I felt something when I touched you.
You're supposed to.
I mean, something in your breast. I'm trying not to use the L word. A lump on the left.
It doesn't mean anything. I'm fibrocystic. It's hereditary. All the women in my family have breasts filled with tapioca.
That's an interesting image.
Don't worry about it. I don't...
I think it's important to remember how misleading facts can be.
I tend to find the facts rather factual, Mr. Hanna. Are you intending to prove that your clients weren't the ones who burst into an authorized after-school activity, hassled the participants, damaged student and school property, and then topped things off with a round of egg throwing?
No, Your Honor, but I will put their actions in the proper political context. What might appear to be vandalism was, in reality, a protest against the erosion of the separation of church and state.
With eggs?
Well, by any means necessary. Jake Flanders and Wallace Reed were deeply disturbed that an overtly religious organization had been given permission to meet on school grounds.
As stated, Your Honor, the Live the Lord Club has permission for their meetings, as do more than a dozen other student-operated after-school activities.
The object of this particular club being the evangelizing of boys and girls with the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ.
The Supreme Court doesn't have a problem with this.
And if it was the I Love Hitler Club, would that be permissible as well?
Oh, Mr. Hanna, it is way too early in the morning to play the Hitler card. Mr. Van Exel will give you the particulars of the next meeting. Next case.
Your Honor, I'm Russell Coleman. My group helps organize student-run Live the Lord clubs across the country.
Well, if it's appropriate, Mr. Coleman, I'll hear from you tomorrow afternoon.
This man just equated the Lord Jesus Christ to Adolf Hitler. Do you plan to admonish him for that remark?
No, not at this time.
Don't you think, in all fairness...
Fairness notwithstanding, Mr. Coleman, I decide what's permissible in this courtroom and no one else. For example, I'm letting you speak.
I see.
I thought you might.
So you had this checked, and you know that it's nothing.
Don't fuss. I hate it when people fuss.
I'm not fussing. I just want to know that you're okay.
I'm okay.
So it'd probably be a good idea if we both get checkups before moving to San Francisco. Just have some basic numbers.
Good idea.
You have a regular doctor.
Vincent,
Frankly, I'm a little freaked out by your lump.
it's not a lump.
Lump, tapioca, fiberglass insulation. I felt it.
Don't worry. When you worry, things happen, okay?
Hello? Well, I'm pretty sure my mother was... All right. No, thanks for calling. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Carol, I gotta go.
I'll see you later then.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it important that we have Mara's picture here so we don't lose sight of what this is all about. The death last year of Alex Finch, the father Mara Rosario never knew, was the last in a series of tragic events in this little girl's life. A life of struggle, loss, and fear in a nameless Guatemalan village without telephones, electricity, or dependable drinking water. Violence claimed her parents. It's our job to see that greedy people don't steal her birthright. Mr. Finch chose to have an affair with Mara's mother, Yelena Rosario, when she was in the United States trying to raise money for the Zapatistas. His responsibilities did not end when she returned to her native country and gave birth to their child. Yelena left the baby with her mother and was subsequently killed in a skirmish with Mexican troops. Alex Finch was the father of this little girl, and Mara Rosario is entitled to her share of the Finch estate.
Hey. Sorry, Lauren. You all right?
Sure. Were you doing something important when the school called?
No, I was finished anyway. Wasn't Grandma supposed to pick you up?
Yeah, but I'm happy to see you, Uncle Vincent.
I'm happy to see you too, Lauren.
You don't come around as much as you used to, because there's awkwardness.
Bring your pack. Hey, what am I, the chauffeur?
I can't sit where there's an airbag. I'll get crushed in the face.
All right.
Once we move to San Francisco, we won't have these moments together.
Is guilt a genetic predisposition with gray women, or is it a learned behavior?
I don't know. Because I don't know what that means.
Dope your seatbelt.
Your Honor, Alex Finch was many things. He was one of the most successful, sought-after investment managers in the United States. When the private plane carrying him and his only son crashed in the Atlantic off Hilton Head, 3 different Wall Street indices dipped at the news. But he was not the father of this child. More important, He had no knowledge of this child's mother, a woman who is tragically, and I feel compelled to add, conveniently deceased. The motives behind this paternity suit are astonishingly transparent. Greed may be the engine here, but its source is not this side of the room.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to hear testimony tomorrow with all parties ready at 9 o'clock. What do we have next?
Grandma gets so caught up in her own dunnage.
You're saying a lot of stuff that I don't understand today.
It's this thing women do. Even when they need help or emotional support, they retreat into their own world, where no man, no matter how much he loves her, is allowed to enter.
Well, when I get my own world, I'm going to invite everyone to come with it. Except Ronnie Loomis.
Grandma didn't leave a message.
It's not plugged in.
Why isn't it plugged in?
Because it's broken. When Ronnie Loomis pulls my hair, I kick him.
Sounds right to me. What time will your mother be home?
Late. She has a date with the guy she killed. Why are you and my mom having a fight?
We're not actually having a fight.
It seems like a fight.
You're gonna have to ask her about this. It's kind of a grown-up thing.
It doesn't seem very grown up.
Well, when things get really, really grown up, they start to seem childish again.
I liked it better when you guys got along.
Oh my God, that is so hot.
What?
The coffee. I'm not allowed to have it anymore.
Why not?
I had a heart attack. You have a really short memory, don't you?
No more caffeine.
You don't want to know all the things that can't happen anymore. Apparently, I had too much stress in my life. Who knew?
I thought you liked stress. You certainly created enough of it.
I did. I love doing stuff other people couldn't handle. I used to be fearless.
And now?
Now, I'm a little scared.
So this heart thing, is it genetic?
No, actually, it's something I managed to do all on my own. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it.
You've accomplished other things.
Yeah, I thought I'd be a member of Congress by now.
Well, I don't think any of us is where we thought we'd be.
What did you want?
I wanted to be the CEO of a large multinational corporation.
And what do you think your 19-year-old self would think of you now?
That I'd screwed up. Living with my mom. Being a civil servant.
Yeah, I'd think I cracked. I couldn't handle the pressure. You know what? Our 19-year-old selves were idiots.
I spent the night.
Okay. Why?
Because Mom never came home last night. Somebody has to watch Lauren.
I asked Mom to watch Lauren.
Amy, I think the important part of that statement was Mom never came home.
Did she call?
Your answering machine doesn't work.
Well, I'm sure it has something to do with work. Sometimes she spends the night at Sanctuary House.
That's probably nothing. I'll check around.
Will you call me? I mean, when you find her?
Yeah.
How's Carol?
Fine. Will you please stop talking down our decision to move to San Francisco, at least around Lauren?
What?
Plus, she keeps asking what's going on between you and me, and I don't know what to say.
Neither do I.
Well, I think it's your responsibility to tell her.
Tell her what?
Well, it's simple. You hate my girlfriend, and you resent my decision to move away with her. Perhaps you could find some motherly way of explaining that to your daughter.
Vincent, she had the school call you. Did it ever occur to you that Lauren might have her own feelings about you leaving?
She's obviously picking up on your attitude.
Well, do you want us to be happy about it? Because the way you're behaving, that's exactly what you're going to get. Pure happiness as we wave goodbye.
Amy, not everybody's going to live with their mother their whole lives. Well, that's just a bit meaner than I actually intended.
Just a little bit?
I'll drop Lauren off at school for you.
That's okay, I'll do it.
Actually, I promised her. So if you don't mind, I'd like to keep that promise.
So, you admit you and Jake Flanders disrupted the meeting of the Live the Lord Club.
Things we did as a protest. And the Founding Fathers were very sure about how church and state should be kept separate. It's an important part of the Constitution. We wanted to make sure that everybody knew how bad it was for public things like a school to mix with religion.
So you threw eggs at your fellow students.
A man's got to stand up for what's right. A school's a school and a church is a church.
Thank you. Your Honor?
Whose idea was it to bring the eggs?
Mine.
Why eggs?
Well, they're messy and gross. Cost a lot less than paintballs.
I see. So you're interested in American history?
America's the greatest country in the world.
Can you name me the U.S. Attorney General?
Bill Reno?
Can you tell me anyone on the Supreme Court?
Well, there's Clarence something. Clarence Thompson. Something like that.
Who was the president during the Revolutionary War?
Lincoln.
Thank you. You can step down.
You going to the doctor today?
No. Why? Should I?
I met Carol.
Are you sick?
No.
I only go to the doctor if I throw up or bleed.
That's a good plan.
No, it's not. You should have it checked out.
Have what checked out?
Oh, go ahead, Vincent. You started this conversation.
Carol has a sty in her left eye.
Yeah, it's not a sty.
No harm in getting the eye doctor to take a look.
The eye doctor is not going to tell me anything that I don't already know.
Suppose for 1 minute that I agree with you. Your sty is none of my business. I'm way out of line. Granted. Think practically for a moment. You know how annoying I can be. You know how irritatingly focused on something I can become. It's not a pretty sight. This situation has all the earmarks of a classic. But you can diffuse the whole ugly mess with a visit to the eye doctor.
You shouldn't be afraid of the eye doctor.
I'm not.
I think you are.
But I hate the dentist.
You're fixating on my eye because you don't want to deal with your own problems.
What problems?
Your house.
What's wrong with your house, Uncle Vincent?
Nothing.
The roof is cracked and the foundation is caving in. It's mad at him for moving away. It's barely speaking to him. Maybe you should make those home repairs before becoming obsessed with my eye.
Going to school with you is fun. I'm sure gonna miss it when you move to San Francisco.
You're treating this as though I'm not in it, but I am. I'm getting ready to uproot my life and move with you to California.
What? You afraid you made a bad bargain?
What? No, I love you. When I think about our future, I think of this. I think about you and me bringing our own child to school. I hate to miss out on that because you won't go see a doctor.
Mrs. Finch, how long had you been married to Mr. Finch at the time of the accident?
18 years.
How would you characterize that relationship?
In 25 words or less?
In whatever words you choose, Mrs. Finch.
It was a marriage, with all that that implies.
There was occasional stress.
Of course there was. People think having money in any quantity means you don't have problems. You still have problems. The scenery's different. That's all. But I know that Alex loved me, and I know that he loved our son, Ronnie. We both loved Ronnie.
Mrs. Finch, did your husband ever confess to you any infidelities during your marriage?
Yes, in 1988, possibly 89. It was a very difficult time for us.
Did your husband ever mention the name of a woman, Elena Rosario?
No.
So though your husband had been forthcoming in the past, he never indicated that he was having an affair with an illegal immigrant from Guatemala.
If he had, I would have remembered.
Thank you, Mrs. Finch.
Miss Weldon.
Mrs. Finch, did you ever confide to your husband about your extramarital affairs?
Your Honor.
Way ahead of you. Ms. Weldon.
I'm merely curious if the witness was always as honest as she claims her husband to have been.
Bank the fires of curiosity.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Of course.
I'm not saying Alex was a saint. He wasn't. But if he was going to have an affair, it wouldn't be with a communist from Guatemala. The man raised $100,000 for Bush.
Well, clearly he was ambivalent about his politics.
He wasn't ambivalent. He was a Republican. He could be as charming as he could be infuriating. Occasionally he could be both at the same time. Often, actually. He was also the most tender, loving man I ever knew. And the most honest. He's gone. So is our child. Now, I do not want to idealize my husband. He would hate that. But I am not going to let people tell lies about him either.
Thank you, Mrs. Finch.
Vincent! Hi.
Hey, Sean. Listen, I feel a little foolish, but I can't seem to find my mother.
Oh.
I'm sure everything's fine, but yeah, I've been to Sanctuary House and they haven't seen her, and she didn't come home last night, so...
I'm sorry, Vincent, I don't know where Maxine is.
But couldn't you page her or something?
I've been paging her since yesterday and she hasn't responded. Which, unfortunately, is not that unusual. She doesn't like to be checked up on. When I saw you, I hoped you might know something.
No.
You say you already talked to the people at Sanctuary House?
Yeah.
I think we better find her.
Thank you.
Two minutes.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. You see any resemblance? What?
I don't think you can base this kind of judgment on something like that.
Well, I might as well. I'm not going to get anything more scientific. This picture is supposed to pull at my heartstrings, right? That's why Ms. Weldon blew it up so big, so I could look into little Mara's eyes. Well, what do you think?
I think Weldon is out of her league and way over her head.
Oh, that's what she wants us to think.
You want me to check her out?
No, I'm just being paranoid, right?
Okay. You're gonna be late.
It's like we're staring at the mind of Maxine Gray.
And I'm frightened.
Well, she usually keeps her files with her, in her car. Maybe there's a clue on her computer that'll tell us something.
Page her one more time.
Hardly anything on here. Does she even use this thing?
Mother lives her life on little pieces of paper.
Wait, here's something. She's meeting V for lunch at 1:15 at Teddy's.
That was me 2 weeks ago. Now is it okay to be officially worried?
Ladies and gentlemen, we need everyone available in the conference room in 10 minutes.
Why didn't Maxine pick her up?
I don't know. She didn't come home last night either.
Could she be with Jared?
He's in Europe.
No, I wouldn't worry.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, thanks. Well, I think Vincent would let you know if there was anything to worry about. Peter and I were thinking the four of us should go to dinner.
You mean me and Stu and the two of you?
No, I meant Vincent. I thought you hated Stuart.
I did. I mean, he was a shark.
Was?
Well, he's different since the heart attack. He's gentle.
Well, people do change.
Well, I don't know.
You think he's being nice just to get you into bed?
Well, I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, the old him. If there's a new him, that... I'm a little confused.
When I first met Peter, he was pedantic, opinionated, and a bit dorky. He's changed a lot, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Not to mention a certain other person. I knew a girl once, broke hearts right and left. She thought nothing about turning to a guy on a date and saying, "I'm sorry, this isn't working out for me. Let's just cut our losses and say goodnight." And then she got her heart broken and became kinder and more caring.
Do you mean me?
What do you think of the double date idea?
With Stu?
With Vincent. Not a date, just... We really want you to make peace before he moves away.
Who's we?
The family. The whole family.
Come on, people. Someone in here has to know what Maxine Gray's working on. This is an emergency.
She said you'd say that.
Listen up. It is about damn time you became more afraid of me than you are of Maxine Gray. Right, look, I'm not trying to check up on her or second guess her. This really is an emergency.
She said you'd say that.
Fine. You don't want to believe me? This is her son, Vincent. Careful, they might ask to see your ID.
Hi. I'm Vincent Gray. I'm Maxine's youngest son.
Oh, the one who's moving to San Francisco?
The dog groomer.
Oh, he used to be a dog groomer. Now he's some kind of writer.
See, the thing is, my mother never came home last night. And she left her granddaughter waiting in front of school, which is not like her. So I'm really worried. Please, if you know something, tell us. I'll take all the blame.
She might have mentioned a woman named Cyril.
Linda Cyril? It's a pretty bad case of domestic abuse Maxine's been working on. Trying to get the woman to leave her husband.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. He's dangerous.
Jake Flanders and Wallace Reed have admitted their actions. They would, however, like me to consider their motives. I have. Unfortunately, the only motives I can find are petty maliciousness and a thoughtless disregard for others. And while Mr. Flanders and Mr. Reed claim to have acted in the name of the Constitution, this is clearly an attempt to graft some kind of nobility onto the incident after the fact. So, Jake Flanders and Wallace Reed, I am sentencing you to 6 months supervised probation, during which time you will be under an 8 p.m. curfew and not allowed to participate in any after-school activities. You will also apologize to the members of the Live the Lord Club and make any appropriate restitution. And I want you both back here in 2 weeks, at which time you will make separate oral presentations about the Bill of Rights, specifically the separation of church and state.
Whoa, we get homework out of this?
The cost of liberty is dear, Mr. Reed.
Ten minutes.
Your Honor, I must protest.
Well, the steps of the courthouse are out that door, down the steps and to the left.
6 months probation? That's nothing.
I think these boys would disagree.
These boys need to be punished.
Mr. Coleman, we're done here.
This is the worst sort of political correctness. If these boys had disrupted a group of feminists or homosexuals, you would have leapt at the chance to make an example of them.
First, Mr. Coleman, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm not going to cite you for contempt. Second, perhaps you'd like to get together with these boys as they do their constitutional homework. The law is not an excuse, and it's not a blunt instrument. It's a balancing act, and the only way it works is if it works the same for everyone. If you'd like to see this for yourself, you're welcome to sit in this courtroom for a month or two, provided you keep your mouth shut.
Come on.
Mr. and Mrs. Cyril, this is Sean Potter from the Department of Children and Families. I'd like to speak with you, please.
There's nobody home. Oh my God.
This is not a legal entry.
Look at this place.
Vincent, as an officer of the state of Connecticut, I can't just bust down people's doors.
So stay outside. Mom!
God, it looks like someone went berserk in here. Maxine! Okay, there's no blood, so that's good.
Wait, that's the silver lining? There's no blood? Let me have your phone. Mom!
Hello? With the Department of Children and Families. Hello? Yeah, that's Maxine's pager.
Oh my God. Now what?
Let's not jump to any conclusions. All this means is that she was here. Maxine loses more pagers than anyone else in the department. Hell, sometimes she just flings them away.
Hey. What the hell you doing in my house? Huh?
Mr. Cyril, I'm Sean Potter from the Department of Children and Families.
No! This is her pager. What'd you do to her?
You got the wrong guy, pal. All right, just calm down, everybody. Now, what happened to your place?
Yeah, okay, that was me, all right? I was pissed. I come home, the old lady skipped on me, so I let out some frustration.
You say old lady, you mean your wife? What, she ran out?
Yeah.
Perhaps if you hadn't been beating her for the last several years, that wouldn't have happened. That's just a helpful hint from the Department of Children and Families.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, huh? You can't come in here. I'll sue you.
If you hurt my mother.
I said get the hell out of here, huh? I'll call the cops.
You've been seeing a lot of cops. You've been drowning in cops.
Keep walking, you punk. Get out of here, punk. Or you want to come back and have a piece of this, huh? You want a little more? Come on!
Isn't that one of the state's attorney's investigators?
The less we talk, the better.
Why?
You need to put me on the stand.
Why?
If I tell you, it'll be ex parte communication.
Yeah. Do you have something good? Right. Don't say anything. Just walk away. How will I know what to ask you? Right. Don't say anything. Just walk away.
Last time anyone saw her was yesterday morning.
Well, tell them we checked the area hospitals.
Detective, I know all about the 48-hour rule when it comes to missing person cases. Isn't there some way we can streamline... How about a little professional courtesy here? This woman is a dedicated social worker, and we have very real fears for her safety. Thank you. Officially, it's a rule, 48 hours.
And what about unofficially?
Unofficially, he's going to put an APB out on her car and stick a unit on Cyril's street. When the 48 hours are up, they'll serve Cyril with a warrant and check the house.
That's it. That's all they can do?
Miss Walden has informed me that she's unable to predict when a DNA sample or a birth certificate will be forthcoming, so I'm afraid we are at an impasse.
Your Honor...
Do you have any more witnesses?
No, Judge Gray.
Mr. Oswald?
We're done, Your Honor.
Fine. Then I'm going to exercise my right to call my own witness. Mr. Van Exel?
Your Honor, this is highly irregular.
You can't call your own court services officer.
Your objections are duly noted. Raise your right hand. please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Have you come across information that is pertinent to this case, Mr. Van Exel?
Yes.
Objection, narrative.
You're right. Sustained. Did you make an independent investigation of this case?
Yes. I asked an investigator in the state attorney's office to verify Miss Weldon's credentials.
Objection? Relevance?
Denied. Did you find an aberration in her credentials?
No.
Did you find that she is misrepresenting herself in any way?
Yes. Miss Weldon is not an independent lawyer. She works for a firm in Miami.
I am an associate in a Florida firm, Your Honor, but as a member of the Connecticut Bar, I am independent.
Can you tell me what Miss Weldon's Florida associates have to do with this case?
Yes, I can. Miss Weldon's firm is litigating 16 cases in 5 states, all on behalf of Guatemalan orphans, each fathered by a wealthy American, killed in, 12 air crashes, 2 automobile accidents, an avalanche, and a ferry boat sinking.
Your Honor, the defense moves to dismiss the civil suit with prejudice.
Granted. You may step down, Mr. Van Exel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wait.
I'm also ordering
You're
the transcripts of these proceedings be delivered to the state attorney, to the Bar Association, to the Immigration and Naturalization Service, to the State Department, to the Department of Consumer Fraud, and anybody else I can think of. You, Ms. Weldon, are why there are lawyer jokes. Next case. Well, yeah, it was a judge's dream. Putting an entire firm of lawyers behind bars. Florida lawyers.
Yeah, I've been ambitious. I've cut corners, I admit, but to take advantage of a parent's grief and starving children? I mean, can you imagine what they've done to their karma?
You believe in karma?
I don't know. I've never actually said the word without canic.
Canic?
Karma? Canic? Car mechanic?
You're a terrible listener.
Then why are you talking to me?
Maybe because I killed you, and now I feel guilty.
You did me a favor. A heart attack's supposed to be a signal to slow down and reassess your values, your goals, consider your karma.
Yeah, I think Dick Cheney pretty much ruined that for everybody.
Pretty much.
I gotta go home. Gotta see if my mom showed up.
Right.
I mean, not that I'm gonna be sleeping. I'm gonna be balancing my checkbook and watching infomercials now.
Because of me?
No, because of this bad courthouse coffee.
Oh. Okay. Just take a little whiff. It's time for me to take my blood thinners. Good night.
Thank you.
I used to think that I was good at waiting, sitting around. Turns out that I'm not.
I was kind of hoping Cyril would charge you with assault.
Thanks a lot.
And hurry things along and bring the police in and give them a reason to investigate.
Investigate what?
Something happening?
Could you possibly take Lauren upstairs and get her into pajamas?
Of course. Yes. Of course. Come on.
Why did the police have to investigate? It's too early to go to bed.
What's going on?
I never get to hear the good stuff.
Didn't Mom come home?
Oh, now you're concerned? Where was that concern this morning?
I trusted you to tell me if there was anything to be concerned about.
What, your finger's broken? Have you lost the ability to call me and ask if your mother's all right?
You know, I've seen Maxine in a lot of tight
This is
situations.
so typical of you. You withhold information, and then you blame me for not reacting the way you want me to react.
Amy, bite me.
Where's Jillian? She just left me out there waiting in the car.
Lauren, no, wait a minute, come back here.
Hi, Mommy. Did you hear about the investigation?
I'm sorry, she broke away.
What's going on?
Mom is missing.
No, she's not. She went on the lam with some battered woman until she could find her a secure place in a women's shelter.
Peter, dear, don't use that language. It's melodramatic.
Are you all right?
Where the hell have you been?
Oh, apparently Vincent doesn't care if you're all right. He just cares about where the hell you've been.
I'm fine. Why shouldn't I be?
You knew where she was?
Why did you tell him?
Because I'm dependable, and Mom said it was a very sensitive secret.
Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, you know, you two really aren't communicating very well these days. So I thought it made sense to tell Peter. What's the difference?
You wanted us to worry.
Oh, stop it.
You wanted me and Vincent to come together in the face of tragedy.
Maxine wouldn't do that.
What tragedy? She's standing right here.
Guess what, Ma? It didn't work.
No, it sure as hell didn't.
It didn't.
I'm going to bed. Night.
Was that the whole investigation?
Carol.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you.
You all right?
Did you find your mother?
Oh, God. Even for the Greys, it was award-winning passive-aggressive manipulation. We thought Mom was strangled and buried in a shallow grave. As it turns out, she was just in a motel, trying to teach Amy and me a lesson. Are you coming to bed?
You win. I'm gonna go see a doctor tomorrow. About the lump.
Hey, come to bed.
This is the part where you say, Carol, I'm sure it's nothing.
Carol. I'm sure it's nothing.
Better be nothing. Because if there's anything wrong, it's your fault.
That sounds reasonable.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, Amy's relationship with Stuart takes a dramatic turn. Don't miss Judging Amy, next.